Hey everybody, today we're going to be starting a new video on a job I'm doing. It's on another small, it's a good sized lake up here. Um, the lake's here, there's a state road, and then the houses are on the opposite side of that road, so you get a right of way, but you got to walk across the road, which is, in the summertime, almost impossible to work there because the traffic's so bad you can't stop and back in with a dump truck or unload equipment. What I've got to do today is they own, there's also properties on the lakeside too, and he owns one of them, and there's a just big enough driveway I think I can get off with the truck and trailer and unload the excavator, and then I only got to run it probably 30 yards up the road to get up in his driveway. But this guy's driveway, like the lake's here, there's an elevation change of about 8 or 10 feet to the road, and then his driveway just sweeps up and dug in, and the camp's a 1930s camp that's there, so it's been there for a while. What we're gonna do is they did some more logging. I had done work for the guy 6-7 years ago, and he called me back and said, hey, I had some more logging done. So when I got over there, what his plan is they logged the top, anything that they thought might be falling. He's thinking about building a garage with a living space above it rather than winterize the camp. And he wants to leave the camp as what he grew up in, so he's gonna build. He does want to stay up there later on, so he's going to build a small type of house, a small, I think 1 or 2 bedroom above a garage if he can get the bank dug out. So what we're doing is we're going to stump the top, stump the bottom, and see if we can get it dug out to where he can put a foundation into that hillside. So that's the job we're going to be starting on. I think it's going to be pretty interesting, to be honest with you. We got to haul off all the stumps. I believe we're going to be hauling off a lot of the fill out of there. And like I said, not an easy road to get to back in off from, even with a small 1-ton dump truck. It's a pretty busy road, especially in the summer. You could never do this in the summer. It has to be a fall project or early spring. The hillside there, it's got to get dug out and cleaned up. They're going to be putting a garage foundation in there. We're going to have to knock this down a little bit and move that wall this way. Up here we're just going to pull some stumps and try to make another flat area like the machine's sitting on up to that property line. But I just figured I'd take a quick shot. Over there, there's that big stump. They got to run some electrical up through there, so we're going to start right out on this hill, see if I can get a ramp to go up there and work my way across to make a level. He wants to try to make it level enough, put grass in if we can. Some nasty digging. I did some work here a few years back, so we're gonna have to really pick through this. Plus, I need the rock to retain that when we're done. So. To keep the root system separate. Try to keep it so I got some somewhat clean fill to put in after the fact. I hate chasing these small rocks, but that might be all I have to retain a bank back with, so I don't want to just toss them. I want to do a shot from up here to show you the idea of the hillside we're going up. A lot of people would think it's crazy to do it with a small machine, but that's what fits up in here. So we'll get it done. I think it's going to look pretty good when we're done. But I just figured I'd do a shot from here. And then down where the dump truck is, there's another small level there that we got to pull the stumps, and we're also going to see if we can get as big of a flat area as we can. the way it is around the lakefront. The lake's across the street and then this hillside, but all the properties along this whole road are this way, so you just gotta deal with it the best you can. That stump actually came out a little easier than I thought. It was built, grew on, I shouldn't say built, grew on a piece of ledge. And again, I want to show how these stumps grew right around this ledge, if you can see that, but I'm pretty sure that's going to come out. Finally got a big piece of that to break off, and I think I'm going to get this big piece to move now. Yeah, it's already moving. I think tomorrow, instead of having a bucket on, I'm going to bring my ice pick. I think I can break a lot of this apart a lot easier. This is where we're at up here. I'm going to call it on this afternoon till I get the ice pick on the machine tomorrow morning. I didn't bring it with me today. I think I can break that ledge apart a little bit, get that stump, and that'll probably be the very back corner anyways. Work my way across, but so this afternoon I'm going to work on this, getting these stumps out of here. They're kind of in the wall, so it'll be a little bit interesting. So many stumps close together, they're all twisted right into each other. That's here because it just breaks off. It's like if you bang on it with the bucket of the excavator. I mean, I shouldn't say all of it does, but there's a lot of it. And if you get a pounder, it would probably break pretty easy too, I would imagine. pain in the butt. I figured I'd take a quick video, but I don't know if I can get it to, it's got a lot of rock stuck in it. But it's breaking apart, which is good. I did bring my rock pick bucket over there. You can see I'm going to do the ledge up there with it. I got one more stump over there, and the only other stump I got that's any size is the one up towards that shed. It's pretty good size, but I'm pretty sure I can get that. But it's the only, that's the biggest one I had to do, so I think I'll be all right. Set so when I come back. Alright, I'll haul some dirt. I'm gonna get rid of another load of these stumps. Get rid of that load of gravel and then come back and load that. I'd like to get a couple more loads out of here today if I can. Good sized rocks wound up in that. Probably good for that load. I just got to move a bunch of dirt out of here, so we're going to be loading dirt, but I just figured I'd take a shot real quick where we're at. Basically starting another week here. But we got a few loads of stumps up there I gotta haul off, but I want to get this first landing done first. Then I'm going to bring a machine, and there's a roadway I put in like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I can go up there with probably my loader and we'll go from there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to set some of these rocks aside because I got to retain all these edges even over the winter, and I also want to leave it. I think there's a chance he may not get a permit to do a garage here, and if so, he's going to probably just have this as a flat area. So I'm trying to leave it to where if that doesn't work out, one way or the other, he wanted this done. He wanted the hillside level, having some level areas so the kids could play and whatever. His big plan is he wants to put a garage here with a living space above it later on. They may not let him do that, so I gotta leave. I'm leaving this in a way where I'm not gonna have to come back next year and deal with it if they say no to that permitting or whatever. So, but I gotta move a bunch. I gotta save all these rocks basically. So, and if they okay that next year, we'll probably be hauling them all off. But for now, we're just gonna get them set to a side. So once I'm basically digging this down a little lower than I originally said I was gonna, because I have time to do it this time of year, and the digging's been a little bit better than I thought it was gonna be. I haven't run into any ledge yet. The ledge up in that back corner is breaking apart, so I think I'm gonna be able to get away with it. Some of this stuff I'm bringing home, I'm going to screen to get the smaller rock out of too, so if I got to come back and use it as like erosion stone, at least all the stone's going to match. What I'm doing here is I'm giving myself a little bit of a ramp to get up at that last stump I got to do. I don't know if you could see it, but way up near that shed, the second post in, there's a big stump in front of it. I got to see if I can. They want to run power up through there, so I got to dig this enough to where they can get in the ground 24 inches to put a power line into that shed. I'll tell you what, you might as well take your shovels and rakes in this yard and throw them out. Unbelievable. The rocks that are twisted up in that little area. I don't want to dig down any further than I have to, because whoever does this foundation's not going to want this banking all live. They're going to want to dig it and have a couple days to play around before it wants to collapse in. Where I'm going to pick through it a little bit to make sure there's no big stuff in it, so whoever digs it out, but chances are whoever comes in here to do the foundation is going to have, he may have me dig it out, I don't know, but I doubt I'm going to have time in the spring anyways to come over and do something like this. I'm not saying I won't do it, but I think whoever does the concrete work and building's probably going to do the whole thing. I got to dig that corner out a little bit. Just want to take a shot of where we're at today, and I'm just throwing this wall together to retain that enough. It's going to be getting dug out in the spring, put a foundation in there, but I basically picked all these rocks out, dug around in here to make sure there was nothing that I can't dig out. But come spring, I think there's going to be like a 28 by 28 garage, and they're going to do the cement wall. They're going to do this back cement. Basically, the two of the walls are going to be also retaining walls for this land. So we're just going to, I don't even know if I'm going to retain this one. I think I'm just going to leave that rock stuff up there until he decides or gets the permitting to do this. And then I'll come back, but I don't want to disturb any more than I have to until spring. But we ended up getting this nasty stump out, and I had a firewood delivery this morning, and it was in the area, so then I stopped in. I said I'll do a little bit of digging, but I actually got it out of here without disrupting too much. There's that one post that fell off on, but other than that, that stump, I was pretty happy it come out of there that easy. So what I'm going to do is throw that in the truck, pick through some of this root system, and then I'm going to come right up through here, make a trail, and try to go right across that top. So, and see how it goes. I'll try to get this rolled down and get some of that material knocked off of it. I already got some out, but there's like rocks in it, so it's heavy. And I want to be able to lift it enough to throw that in my truck, that's all. But if we can get it in the truck without making too much of a mess. That stump actually came out. I got that stump out probably in 25 minutes, which is pretty impressive. Sometimes with a smaller machine like this, you'll fight with something like that. The truck, cover that with a top, and then fix that rock wall a little bit. Wasn't that bad, really. Knocked a couple rocks out of place, but that's a big stump. That's the biggest stump I had here. I think I had to pop a few more rocks in there. I'm picking through these too because I think we're going to do that retainer wall with the part of the foundation, but I think we might have to dress some of the stuff up a little bit on the edges where the concrete's not going. So I want as much rock around as it just makes my life easier if I have plenty around. Alright, let's see if we can make our way back up that hill. Alright, we got one more stubborn rock. I have no idea what's holding that, other than it's twisted right into the rock. Never one rock. Once I get across here, I'll probably plant some rocks on that hillside. It'd be nice to get up there and have a level spot. Get this bottom one level where the garage is going to be getting put in later on, I think. I'm going to finish this up a little more, but I got up over the hill here. And filled in around those posts with boulders, and they want to try to have this so they can walk across it when we're done. But I figured we'd show where we're at. And over there, that's about as far into that as I'm going to dig. There's some pretty big ledge. It is chipping off, but that's further than he thought we were going to get. So we basically got a bunch of stumps to haul off Monday. A few more loads of that, and I think I can get up here with the dump truck though. So that's where we're at this point. I haven't taped a lot the last couple of days because I'm hauling all of this out of here. Basically just moving it. We've decided now he wants to haul a lot of this fill off to get as big of a flat area as we can up here. I did run into the original time I worked on this, which was probably 5 or 6 years ago. The area where the excavator's sitting basically was all stumps. Part of the hillside, we stumped it, dug it out, gave himself a flat area. Gave him a flat area that his kids could play on. This is ledge that I ran into then, so we stopped digging. This is all just rock wall, but this piece here goes pretty far back. So I've dug around, determined that is a big piece of ledge, and it doesn't seem to want to break apart, even with a pick on my excavator. So over there we ran into ledge, but it keeps shearing off big pieces. So our thought is we're going to go as far back as we can here to make this area, a little flat area, a little bit bigger. We're going to shelf that one shelf, which is what he was looking for, and have a pathway that goes down past this shed. And I dug down through next to the pump house because they got to run power up through here, I think in the spring, to that shed. So that's dug out so that you could get in there with a shovel and put a piece of conduit in now. What I'm doing this fall is just getting this dug out, and our plan is to come back and revisit it in the spring. This area down here is probably going to be a foundation to a garage, and then the cement walls are going to be the retaining wall at that point. So a lot of this rock's going to come out of here then. The price point he wanted to be at this fall, basically he gave me a maximum point to go to, and that's what we're going to do. And it just doesn't, it's originally we weren't even going to go that low with this. We were just going to stump it, but I suggested if we're going to do it, let's get some of the material out of here. And I was able to do it for that price point he had. So what we're going to do is let him attack it again in the spring and come back. So I'm going to get it to a certain point this week and retain it enough so nothing's going to take off this winter, and go from there. Alright, so I want to touch on a quick point here. A lot of people are going to question why I'm hauling this out of here with a 1-ton. The bottom driveway here is hut top, and it's very thin. I couldn't get anybody with a big truck to back up in here and load them, and they didn't want to be responsible for the hut top. Because you dig up an edge and it's very thin. It's like 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches is the thickest. So they're afraid. It's a pretty good hill coming in here off the state road. They think during that transition, when that weight all goes to their back axle, that hot top will crack, and I agree with them. So I'm just answering it. I'm just saying it now because I want people to know there's a reason I'm hauling this all out of here with a 1-ton. I've dug into this about as much as I can with the bucket of the 2501. So I'm gonna, some of these rocks have got to go up there to retain that upper part. So we'll be moving some of these. I'm gonna try to take this big slab rock and stick it in the rock wall over here. So we're gonna continue over, have a flat spot, and he wants to be able to walk down to this level, but he's going to gain quite a bit of area here as far as having an area for kids to play now. Going to be way bigger than it was, and over near those trees, all these rocks are going to go up on that hill. We're just going to sweep that down into this level. There's one big stump and a couple small. We decided I'm just going to cut that down another 6 or 8 inches with a chainsaw. And then we're going to stump grind it in the morning and then just leave that. So right now I'm about 40 loads I've hauled out of here. So, and I probably got at least 4 or 5 more once I get that situated over there. So got to grab a bunch of this rock, turn around, dump it, and then I'm going to grab it one more time and throw it up on that flat area to retain that back wall when we're done. I got to get it out of the way over here. So big piece of rock. I'm hoping I can get it over there without it too big of a deal, but let's see if we can crack it in half. Just an awkward shape, I think. I finally got that to break. Of course the camera wasn't on. All the other pieces, big pieces like that, sheared right off for me. What we're going to do in this corner so we don't kill these other root systems to these other trees, we're going to grind these last 2 stumps. I'm going to cut them down a little bit with a chainsaw, then we'll be grinding them. I just figured I'd get a shot of it. I'm just nervous, more so than the homeowner is, but the root system, everything, there's so much rock here, all the stuff went out like a carpet. Instead of root system going in, they just laid. But you start ripping and tearing, you're going to rip and tear the root system from all the trees around it. So he wants to keep that border of trees, so I don't want them, you know, have to deal with it 2 years from now when they don't grow, stop growing, or dying I should say. Pine trees get dangerous too, but we'll get on it. Close up. I don't get crazy with it, but that's pretty much how that works. Alright, from when the video started until this point is 25, I got probably 25 to 30 minutes. That was a big pine stump. It's a little bit of a workout, but that's what this machine's made for. That was a pretty good pine stump, and it gets it down to, all I care about here is getting it below grade, and I don't want to affect these other trees. So we're going to do that one other one, and like I said, I'm just doing these 2 stumps. Other than that, I ripped them all up with the excavator. But another thing I'll show you is a lot of times when you, even a small machine like that, it will break pieces like that off. You just pick them out. So now I'm going to do a little bit of work with the excavator so I can get over to that stump easier, and then we'll go from there. I always cut the stump down as far as I can with a chainsaw. That chain's a lot cheaper to sharpen than it is this. So. Another 25 minutes on that one, and I started getting into some pretty nasty rocks. I'm not gonna ruin the teeth on that thing. It's good enough. We just want to be able to dress that. We're gonna try to plug plant some trees next spring, I think. Bark mulch it, but other than that, we're just gonna neaten up that bank a little bit with the excavator. Oh, probably 1 or 2 more loads off, but I'm happy with that, and that didn't hurt any of those other trees. I'm gonna call this job. He's where price point where he wants to be, and I got everything kind of roughed in to stay together for the winter. And if he wants to do some rock picking and stuff, he can. But I stump ground all those stumps. There was probably ended up being a couple small ones in there too, 2 big ones and 2 or 3 small ones. So, but overall, he ended up with a little bit bigger area here for kids to play, and down there is prepped for the garage. Like I said, that rock wall on the hot top driveway is coming out, and that's going to get dug out for a foundation. All those rocks will probably end up here, and we'll try to neaten that up a little bit. I'm going to call this video here. Again, there's just we wanted to get this roughed in and dig out where the foundation is going to go in the spring to make sure there was no ledge there, so we could go forward with getting plans done. But we'll be revisiting this in the spring. This is the budget he wanted to spend right now until next year. So, but like I said, we'll call this video here, and if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.